Shop Talk One-on-One with Jordan Hauser Digital.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Shop Talk One-on-One podcast. This is a brand new thing for my channel. Today's first guest is Keith Fusco of YouTube, Keith Fusco of Fusco Media, and overall wizard of photography. How are you, sir?
Not bad, thanks. Yourself?
Not bad. How'd you like that intro?
Yeah, that was good. That's nice and flashy. That's what I like.
There we go. Awesome, man. So basically what I want these things to be is just a behind the scenes, almost like a backstory, a creator spotlight to feature channels that I think are awesome and, you know, people that, I share some similarities with as far as like work and technique and hustle and all of that stuff. So I just wanted to get into a few things. Just basically, we'll start out. How did you even get into photography in the first place?
Well, I started back in 2006 when I started driving. At the time, I had a car called a Corsa. I don't know if you have them over there. It's like an Opel. Well, it's Vauxhall over here, but I think it'll be Opel or Holden over there.
No, I don't know
like
what that is.
Small Corsa. Anyway, I had the car forum, so I was on there and people were putting up pictures of the cars, so I was doing that with my phone. And then there was some fantastic pictures on there. I was like, I need to get some pictures like that. So I got myself a Fuji bridge camera. Started putting pictures on with that. And then everyone had these DSLRs, and I was like, I need some better pictures than that. So I got my first DSLR, which was the Canon 400D.
Nice.
And then it just went from there. It was just sort of started off as a hobby, taking pictures of my car, and then taking pictures of other people's cars and landscapes, the whole shebang.
Dude, that's fun. Yeah, I think you and I have talked before about how I started. It was I was back in high school, and there was a band that a couple of my friends were in, and I just took my camera to the show, and everyone just had assumed that I was like media, and they were like, go on through right up to the stage, and I was like, this is awesome. So I got some really great photos, and I was shooting on 35 millimeter film. And so there I am, like in our high school's darkroom, which was like, it was like a storage closet. So I went in there to try and like fix the place up. Wasn't happening. It was like the school didn't really want anything to do with it. And my mom actually works at the police station, and they have a darkroom. And they were like, yeah, you could come in and use ours. So that's where I went and developed my first photos. It was pretty cool.
The live gigs with a film camera, you'd be waiting there like that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Even with digital cameras, you're still sort of waiting for the right shot, but you can fire a couple.
Right. Dude, it was wild. I know I was shooting on like black and white. I think I had like a 36 roll. Yeah. And to think of that, back in the day, just like you had 36 shots per roll. That's insane, especially with digital cameras now. You can just fire off 2,000 photos and not even think twice about it. But it's pretty cool. The Canon 400D, was that before they had video integrated into that?
It was, yeah. I think it was the 500D that they had the first video with.
Okay.
I'd gone through them. It was like 400D, 450, then 500. And that's when I started getting into video as well, when I got that with the video capability. Well,
that's pretty cool. I had my first like good digital DSLR was the Canon 550D, which was the T2i.
Yeah.
And the reason I bought it was because of the video features that shot the full HD video. And I actually used that thing right up until like last summer. Which is pretty awesome. I had other cameras, but I still used that thing. It was pretty sweet. But so after you did, I guess, the car photos and stuff like that, what kind of shifted your focus? What did you continue to go on with, like photo-wise?
Well, I started doing a couple of weddings and family shoots and things, just sort of to bring in the extra cash. And with that money, you can get all your lenses and your cameras and build up, and it just went from there, really.
Yeah, that's fun. That was, I think everybody, that starts out, most people, I would say, head over to the wedding realm and things like that. And it's nice because you can make some nice money and upgrade your equipment pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I think a lot of people underestimate it though, because like, oh yeah, weddings where all the money is, but there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Dude, it's tough.
People are always on about it, and the way I say it is, say you're at the wedding for 10 hours, you've got at least 2 or 3 times that. So you got another 20, 30 hours editing. You got or everything else. People don't realize it though.
No, nobody knows that. And that's another thing. Actually, it's going to lead me into our next point. The whole, like, when you even, go out and quote somebody for a wedding and they say like, oh, I want you to shoot my wedding, but I only have $500. Yeah. And that's like, I always sound like kind of a dickbag when I say this, but I'm always like, I won't even get out of bed for $500, which, I mean, dude, offer me $20 and I'll do anything you want. But to go shoot a wedding, $500, that's like a slap in the face. And, people don't know about that whole, you have like a whole 40-hour work week ahead of you when you're editing on top of what you put into that wedding, like you said. And one of the videos that I really liked from your channel, something that like really stood out to me personally, was the Know What You're Worth video. And it was just something really cool. If you want to go ahead and describe it and what really even made you think to make that video, I'm interested to hear that.
It just got to the point, so obviously I've got me full-time job as well, and then did photography as a hobby. But I've got a photography studio which has been up for about 3 years now. And then it was July last year, it got to the point where I wanted to do me photography full-time. So obviously I was going to work from 7 till 3 and then having the kids from 3 till 6:30 and doing other things and going to shooting, editing. So I wasn't really getting much sleep. And there was a lot of it for sort of free or underpricing myself. So I was just thinking, nah, it's not really worth it. I'm running myself into the ground for this. I'm poorly and that sort of thing. So I got to the point where I was saying, that's it. I need to start charging what it should be. And obviously the work that I do for free is only selected things that's going to benefit me. Sounds a bit selfish, but like at the end of the day, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree. That was, it's kind of weird now that I watched that video and I was thinking about it. And, I've been doing photography and video. I think I'm going on my, this will be 13 years like this year. And, I've been getting paid for photography and video for 13 years now.
Yeah.
And, when it started out, I know I had a cousin that was like, hey, you want to shoot my wedding? And of course I like jumped at the chance and was like, of course I'll do it. And, did it for free.
Portfolio.
Yeah, it was great. Did it for free. And then, it started to turn into some family portraits here and there and things like that. And I was like, okay, I can do the family thing for free. But then it starts to turn into a thing where, even those jobs I'm really kind of backing off on. And then especially with people like we were saying, weddings or something like that, they want their wedding cheap, like dirt cheap, and I understand, but at the same time, it's, you said it perfectly in your video, like you want Uncle Bob to run the camera or whatever, and it's the same terminology I use whenever I get back to these people. I'm just like, look, you can let your Uncle Bob run the camera, everything will be great, you can get your photos for free. That would be awesome. You can get your video for free, but it's not going to look like my video. And that's what, some people that'll click, some people, they don't like that. They don't enjoy, being told that. And another example that I use all the time is like, I wouldn't go into B&H Photo and say, hey, I see you guys have the 1DX Mark II over there. I'll give you $2,000 for it. No way. It's not going to happen. You got to pay for things. You got to pay for the worth of things.
Yeah, there was one that I saw the other day. It was saying that, oh, you're an artist, so you can take my pictures for free. But that's just like going into Subway and say, you're a sandwich artist, give us that sandwich for free.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't work that way.
It does not. And, it's really rough. I've seen some really cool Facebook posts, different things that friends of mine have put up that were just kind of explaining, like we have this much money invested in our equipment. We, we invest our time into these meetings with you and writing our quotes to you and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And it really starts to break down like why we do charge, a decent amount of money. And then after, insurance, equipment, all that stuff, what are we actually left with?
Yeah.
So, it really does add up. But it's very cool. I like that video a lot. That was just something that was like, one of those videos that I'm like at my computer, like, he's right. Yep, he's right. That's exactly it. And like, yelling at my computer like a madman over here. But yeah, dude, it was really cool. So when, I guess, did you decide to jump into video as well?
Like I said, I think it was when I got the Canon 500D. I think at the time it was only 720p.
Okay.
So you'd done like a little bit of music videos here and there and that sort of thing. And then I got the 700D, which is obviously better video, so I kept doing things with that. And
right.
Obviously just gone through all the cameras, so I've got like 5D Mark 1, then 2 and 3. And I've got me 2 and 3 still now, and the 70D. And obviously the nice XC10 as well.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's nice, man. Whenever I was looking for my cameras, like for my full frame, I wanted to go, I wanted to get the 5D Mark II because I heard that thing was like just amazing for video and all of this. And I ended up going with the 6D because it was a little cheaper. And at that point in time, weddings were more of my main focus. I don't know why weddings were ever like a main focus to me, but they were. And so the 6D, they actually had dubbed that thing the Prince of Darkness because it could take such great photos in low light situations. So I ended up going with that, and I'm pretty happy that I did. But I have a friend that has the Mark II, the 5D Mark II, and that thing is still really, really awesome for video. I like it a lot. So what do you shoot as far as like when you're out and about and you're out shooting your vlogs and things like that, as opposed to what you shoot in like your house, in a studio in your house? What are your gear setups?
I don't know, it all depends. Like I've got the Canon G7X, so if you want something little and portable, just take around, that's quite good.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of vlogs with the kids and stuff, so it's good to give them that. Just say, there's a Gorilla Pod, they've got the camera, they do that.
Oh, that's awesome.
The other vlog stuff that I do when I want it a bit better is like the 70D.
Yep.
So the proposal video that I did, Deb had the 70D and I had the XC10. So obviously sort of tricked her into saying, oh, we're going to go to this and try it out and things. So she was using that, so obviously it's like really good quality.
Yeah. Dude, I love that video. That video was awesome. I think that was like right whenever you and I kind of like met each other online.
Yeah.
And that was like one of your first videos that I watched. And I remember I was just like sitting there watching it, and I was like, he's gonna do this. He's gonna do this. And it was when you were walking out on the dock into the lake, and I'm like, he's gonna do it now. He's gonna do it now. And then you didn't do it, and I was like, wait a minute. Where is he doing this? And it was hilarious because you did it, and then she turned around and was like, you're just going to do this right now, right on the side of the road. Dude, I lost it. I was laughing so hard. I made my girlfriend watch that video. I was like, this is like the most adorable fucking thing you'll ever see. I was like, this is a great video. Yeah. And it was good. And then I think I just wrote to you about, and I just said like, dude, awesome video or something. And there it was. The rest is history.
Well, it's funny because obviously you put the comment in the video, and I showed Deb, and she was like, what? Someone from Pennsylvania's liked our video. Someone's watched our video from Pennsylvania. Like, yeah.
Dude, absolutely. That's like one of the coolest things I think about YouTube and about just social media as a whole. I think that it just enables you to meet like new people and really cool people. And me personally, like I used to I used to go out and party all the time. I used to go out and just drink my face off till like 3, 4, 5 in the morning. And then once I really started taking like my business seriously, then that was a big difference. Then it was, all I wanted to do was really focus on work. And, a lot of my friends, that's what they still do. They go out and they drink. So we don't hang out all that much anymore. But meeting all of you guys like online and having these, these awesome chats back and forth about like, our work and different things like that. Yeah. I feel like I've actually progressed in the friend department very much. So it's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So speaking of,
I originally saw yours on the YouTube creators group. I think you put up the thumbnail about you starting the channel. You can do the videos on this, and this. I was like, oh, photography friend. There we go.
There we go.
And subscribe and good content as well. So
it was fun. That was right whenever I was kind of switching the format of my channel. I think my channel was anything and everything I could shoot video of. I made a video of it and put it on my channel. And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed like doing the skateboard videos and all of that stuff. But then, you run into like those skateboard videos are still like some of my highest viewed videos of like all time.
Because the other highest view ones was about the guy on the airplane.
Yeah. Yep. That guy. Yes, Mr. Casey. And that was a big problem too, because like it immediately was like when I started kind of making the videos about the skateboards was kind of when he took a break. And then I had like this influx of people jump onto my channel and they were like, you're the new Casey Neistat. And I'm like, dude, I'm not the new Casey Neistat. Like I have an electric skateboard and that's about it. I live in like the country in Pennsylvania. I'm not flying all over the world on a daily basis. So yeah, that's not me. But anytime you wear a pair of sunglasses in a video, you're Casey Neistat also, or a ripoff artist at that point. So when, I guess, did you decide to take all of your photo knowledge, your video knowledge, and everything like that and go to YouTube?
Well, obviously I'd had my other channel, which I still have for quite a while, and I was uploading all the music videos and things that I used to do. And then, I don't know, I got to a point a couple of months ago that I just thought, I want to have it completely separate. I want to do stuff just for me. So when I was doing vlogs and things, it didn't really fit in with the commercial work I was doing, music videos. So I created the brand new channel again and just sort of started from fresh, and then grabbed a couple of videos from the old channel to re-upload as new ones and things. But like I was saying to you the other day, the unboxing video that I did for got up the 300 lights, I think on the other YouTube channel that I've got for the studio, had about 4,500 views, and then now the re-upload's got about 12. So
right, yeah,
it's a bit of a bummer, but I think it's good to have all my content there and doing it that way.
See, and I commend you for that, because I know, me personally, if I had, like, I could have, whenever I reformatted my channel, I could have started fresh. But I was like, no way, man. I'm holding on to all these subscribers and all these views, and I'm holding on to everything. Yeah. And I'm just going to make the switch, like, right in the middle of it. And it ended up working out. But I think now that you're, because your YouTube channel and your studio channel are so similar, like, it really is like, I think that you should showcase your work. And I mean, you could even set up any kind of a schedule or something like that, where maybe you just, you do your tutorials on one day, and then, on like Sundays or something, you upload a video that you made for like a company or a band or something like that. Yeah. And I think, that might be one way to do some kind of integration of the two channels or something. But I really, I was going back, the video that you made on the Studio Flash is like, that was was a great video. And then your one video that go ahead.
That one was about 2 years ago, I think. I filmed that with just the flash and the beauty dish.
You looked a little younger.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not much, but you did look a little younger.
That's beard.
Yeah, it's the beard. It always. I remember there was this app on Facebook talking about beards, and if you took a picture of yourself, it would guess your age. And I took a picture of myself with a beard, and it told me I was 47, and I was like, man, fuck this thing. I was so bummed out about it. But I wanted to talk about, we were talking about Casey there for a second. You did this awesome video. I think it was like so cool. It was like such a different perspective where you took one of Casey Neistat's videos. Well, not one of them. I mean, you talked about the airplane video, his crazy viral, like 28 million views. I
think that was his most popular video.
Yeah, his most viral video. And what you did with it was just broke it down and kind of gave points as to why you thought that it had gone viral. And like just you as a creator, kind of telling me these things, I think I was just like, oh man, I never really thought about that's a reason why this went viral. I just like get caught up in the story, and for you to like step back and actually talk about why you think it went viral was really cool. And that's something that I think I'd like to see more on your channel, because I was just like, I'm listening to Keith tell me why this is the way it is, and I was like, yeah, he's right. This is exactly why this is. But it's pretty cool. Would you have any interest in doing any more of those?
Well, I don't know. I didn't at first, because obviously the schedule that I thought for the channel was on a Monday I do like a behind the scenes video or something completely different, like unboxing, review, whatever. The Thursdays are tutorials. And then when you commented the other day saying, I should do more of them videos, I was like, shall I add another day on? That was even like once a month or something, like on a Sunday.
Dude, it's a really, really cool perspective, especially because like you are a creator, you are a photographer, you are a video creator, and to hear you talk about that holds a lot more weight than to hear some random guy on YouTube that just is a YouTuber, just because he is like, some young handsome dude who's out there like, got 2 million followers talking about why viral videos are such. But it's a good perspective to come from an actual creator, somebody who is, working not only on YouTube, but taking and working and using their talents to make money, for their livelihood. So I think that would be really neat, cool series. And I don't really know that there's many people out there doing that, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
I've seen a couple of videos of like saying, we talked about it before as well, the whole Peter McKinnon thing, how he just blew up. There's like a video that I watched of trying to figure out what happened behind the scenes for him to go from zero to right up there. It was quite interesting as well.
Yeah, it's and I think you and I can totally agree that a lot of that has to do with his personality.
Yeah.
That dude.
And the sick B-roll.
Oh yeah. His B-roll is just like the hottest shit on the planet. It's so good. And I think a lot of that has to do with he really, really is into what he does, and you can feel that through his personality. You can feel that through his B-roll. It's almost a story. Just his dedication is almost a story that goes through every episode, and it's really, really good stuff. And I mean, the dude is like super nice, ultra good looking, and just like gets to
like coffee.
Yeah, and he loves coffee. So I mean, that's it's like the perfect stars have aligned type of thing. But yeah, I think he's a pretty cool dude. And I mean, even to see any kind of a breakdown video like on him or other channels like that, or I think that would just be really neat for people that are new to YouTube and things and might just be curious as to like, I put up videos every day. I'm a daily vlogger now, and I have like 20 subscribers. Well, if you break down a video for them and they understand what it is, I think, because you have to have a story. The content is very important. All these things that they kind of don't. And it's like, well, everybody watches Peter McKinnon drink coffee. Why can't I drink coffee and get 1 million subscribers? Well, there's a whole lot of work that goes into being able to drink coffee.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, man. So I guess when you're out, like shooting, I guess in like the outside, like when you're out doing your vlogs, what is like your preferred? You have a bunch of cameras, but what is the one that you want to take out the most?
I would like to say the XC10, but it's got no flip-out screen, so you can't see what you're doing.
Yep.
So I would have to say the 70D. But to do the photos is 5D Mark III.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. That's I've seen a lot of your work just between like your business and your vlogs and your two different channels, and then we're buddies on Facebook and Instagram and all that. So it's really cool to see the videos that you make for YouTube, and then it's really cool to see how you are working like outside of YouTube, like your actual work and your actual career and things like that. Yeah. And dude, it's really neat. Like I've seen a lot of and if you don't want to get into this part, we can cut this part out, whatever. This is a little editing section. But the gym photos and the things, like you're kind of you're doing some marketing work for a gym.
Yeah, it's do all the photography and video for them. So it's they've got a gym called Mass Body Gym, and on top of that they've got a clothing line called Mass Body Development, and they recently just opened a macro-based diner. So they do like all the food. So they measured out like 100 grams of chicken, 100 grams of rice, all the veg and things. So that is like a whole business thing. Is I do all the pictures for them to use on the website for the clothes, on social media, everything like that.
That's excellent. And that was like mainly like what I was talking about. Of course, I've seen all your photos of the models and their skimpy outfits. I don't mind those either. Those are great. But your mainly your gym work and things like that was something that like really stood out to me. I was like, man, this dude can shoot like crazy. And it was good, man. I think you have one thing that I think I notice more in work than anything else is like a good sense of lighting. Mm-hmm. And to me, you have a great sense of lighting, and you can see that a lot, heavily represented in your professional work, and I think that's really awesome.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. What else? You guys are always busy, man. You're doing events and all kinds of things. What do you got coming up?
We do a lot of stuff at the studio. So every fortnight on a Tuesday night, we have a creative night, which is basically we book in, say, 4 models, and then we get photographers to come along. So they come to the studio, they shoot the models with whatever theme we choose. So we had one Tuesday just gone, which was a horror movie night.
That's awesome.
Everyone was dressed up like awesome. And a lot of the time I used to do videos for the Kiss Studio YouTube. So it was like behind the scenes of the thing. And then I used to take pictures and stuff. But I had quite a lot of months out where I didn't do nothing. So it was nice Tuesday, not last night, the night before, to actually shoot some pictures as well.
Yeah.
Because normally I'd just go in, set up the lights, and then set everything else up, and then people just crack on and do whatever they want. And I see the pictures, like, I wish I took some pictures.
Yeah.
And then for this one, I was like, I need to get it. Because I've done some test shots, and I was like, I love that lighting, and that's going to be perfect with, like, the subject in it.
That's awesome, man. It's, I love the different things that different people are doing, and going back to the whole, like, social media thing, I think that's, like, it's really neat to see what other people are doing and how, the different techniques and methods that they use to share their work, share their videos, or, market their businesses, things like that. And, something like that, I would never think to do that. And that's such a cool thing that you guys have these once a week, you have a new theme, and, you just hang out and shoot. And that's super awesome, man. I don't think that I'm actually that close with any photographers or video guys in my area that I could even call them up and be like, yo, dude, let's go shoot something. I mean, I have one of my best friends is a photographer, but he is premier wedding photographer, very, very high end weddings and things like that. So, and he's a busy guy, so it's pretty cool.
It was weird because obviously we know all these photographers who come to the studio and thing, and when we set the date for wedding, we had to go find a wedding photographer. So I was thinking, I know all these people, who can we ask? Will they do it? And that sort of thing. We're going around wedding fairs and you're Keith Fusco, aren't you? I was like, yeah. I was like, what are you doing here? I was like, trying to find a photographer. And then in the end, there's a lass called Vicky who comes to the studio. She's never missed an event once for the past year or so. And she first started out really nervous and unsure about different things. So I've been sort of teaching her, and she ended up getting a 5D Mark III, teaching her how to use the camera and all that sort of thing. And then it's sort of, her style is a lot similar to mine, I think.
That's awesome.
So we'd asked her, we're like, you don't have to say yes. We know if you don't want to do it, because obviously it might be a lot of pressure and things. Said, will you take our pictures? And she was over the moon with it. And obviously the profile picture that we got on the YouTube channel and all that sort of thing, she took them the other week. And because I saw there's Justin Gage, I don't know if you know him. He's in the YouTube Creator Facebook group.
What is his name?
Justin Gage.
I'm not sure. The name does sound familiar. I've probably seen something. There's a lot of us in there.
Yeah, because I saw his channel as well and subscribed to him, and he put up something. He was at this French photography studio, which was the opening, and there was the picture similar to ours. I saw it, I was like, I've got to do that. So
that's awesome.
Messaging was like, that's meant that inspiration for that. So we did our own little take on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she just nailed the picture.
Oh, for sure. As soon as I saw that, I was like, what? It was, I think I said you guys are like the media power couple. Definitely, man. That's such a good, that's a great photo. Just the sunglasses, the camera, the black and white, the high contrast. It's just wow. It's really good. I really dig that.
And then obviously with having all the creative nights, we're sort of, a lot of photographers who come, it's great to get in touch with them and do things with them. Because a lot of people see it as competition.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas me personally, I don't. It's people do whatever the hell they want. I'm going to help them if they need help. Then, because I always like to think if I needed help, then they would do the same.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think that is it's kind of interesting because you and I are the same way in that aspect, because there are other creators around here, maybe not YouTube guys, but people that own video businesses and photography businesses and things like that. Mm-hmm. And it's really strange because I follow them on YouTube, or YouTube if they have YouTube. I follow them on Instagram. I follow them on Facebook. And I always support, if they put out a video or some photos, I'll always go and, like it, I'll comment on it, or, I'll watch their videos, comment and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's really very funny because I never quite get the reciprocation in return. And I think that, photography and video have this weird stigma where it's if I support my competition, then all of my clients are going to run to that person. And that's not the case at all whatsoever. No. Or if my friends would, like somebody else's video, I'd be thrilled. I'd be like, well, that's awesome. Yeah, it's a great video. You should like it. Yeah. Where, I feel like none of their friends comment on my videos because it's like this weird thing like, yo man, you're my boy's competition, and it's just, dude, it is so stupid. And and that's a whole lot of the reason why I want to do these creator spotlights. It's like I have run into awesome people online, and I've met some really cool people like yourself who are like-minded individuals, and I think that people should be watching your stuff, should be paying attention to your work, because I really like it, so I think other people would too. Yeah. And it's just goofy that people go out and bash other people, or don't support. Maybe not bash is the word, but
because it's good as well. Like, so if I had a client come to me and I was busy and I couldn't do the job, then all these other people that you can pass the work on to. Can't do it. It's like, I'm busy, but I can sort this out for you and get this person to do it. Yeah. And then the more sort of possible to come back to you in the future saying, oh, that was good with them. Like, we want to use you. Can you do this?
Yeah.
And same reciprocated. So I've had quite a lot of work from other people. So there was a band went to see Vicky, and she'd never done a band shoot before, and I've done quite a lot. So they were saying, oh, would it be okay if like I do it? And she was like, yeah, and just pass the details on.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. It's just like, I think it's more about kind of networking, yourself and with other people. I do have a local guy who he also shoots a lot of video. He refers me all the time to different people if it's a job that maybe he's not so interested in, or if it's something that he's already busy or booked for the day. He throws it over to me, and it's awesome. It's cool. We definitely we're on a good level. But it is weird to see, like, you're friends with these people, but then like there's a disconnect somewhere. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's pretty funny. But I mean, as far as YouTube creators and things like that go, I think that these groups really are like very important. It's almost like I really didn't even kind of have the grasp of the things that I should be doing on YouTube. Yeah. Really until, I was a part of these groups, and I was seeing, like different techniques that, other people were doing. And I was like, oh man, that's a really great idea. Like, maybe I should use Google's keyword tool for this instead of just trying to think of keywords or things like that. But I think those groups are really important. But like what kind of tips and tricks do you have? Or are there any like out of the normal like methods that you use to share videos or get keywords or do anything like that? Come up with your titles?
Well, the titles just sort of think about and just do it anyway. But with keywords and things, you use TubeBuddy. Yeah,
TubeBuddy's awesome. You get
like
that.
The suggestions, so it suggests some anyway, or you can explore and put in, say, like the one that I've got for import presets into Lightroom. Put that in, and there's loads of related things. Yep. So that's always good.
Yeah, TubeBuddy's pretty awesome.
The other thing I use is a website called If This Then That. So what it does, you've got two different social sites. So you connect all these social things, and on my Facebook page, I've got that connected with YouTube. So when I upload a video on YouTube, it shares it on my page. Oh. So obviously, I schedule up the videos. That schedules a post on Facebook, and it's just sort of all automated.
Dude, that's awesome. This is what I love about this, because like I have no idea what that website is, but I am currently writing that down right now. So if this then that?
Yeah, it's normally shortened to the initial, so it's IFTTT.
That's awesome, man. And that's like, these are the types of things like that I want for this podcast. Like I want people to watch this, and I want them to just learn, like back in the day when I was young and a teenager and skateboarding and not giving a shit about anything. I didn't care at all. Like I didn't want to learn anything. I thought I knew everything there was to know. And now, like later in life, as the business has taken like all of my time and everything. Dude, it's like I wake up early and I just learn shit. And that is like, and it's like the most exciting part of my day is just like, you know, later thinking, oh man, this is like, I just learned how to do this. Your video about the content aware thing on the Photoshop thing. Yeah. Dude, I've been using Photoshop, like I said, for so long. I've been doing this for 13 years now and had no idea about that tool. And then I watched your video and was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I have been putting in so much extra time. And I used it not too long ago to make a thumbnail. Because obviously, like, when you shoot a picture, it's more of like a 4:3 thing, not widescreen. And it annoys me. So I have to like move my photo over, and then I'm left with a chunk of white there. But yeah, I just used that and went that whole route with that idea, and it was easy. It was simple.
Yeah, because use it quite a lot, because obviously at the studio there's a small white background, so you get the side in, and then when I figured it out, I was like, oh, that's easy, that. Because first using the clone stamp and everything, and then telling people at the studio about it, so I thought, make a video. Oh
yeah, and I think that's really cool. Like, as far as like your buddies and your friends that you have at that studio, do you, like, right now, I kind of only make my videos with myself at this point. This is my first branching out experience that I've had with YouTube, really. And I really like it because you're not meant to come up with everything, like, you know what I mean, like, and then you can bounce ideas off of people and have great conversations. I would like to do that with like my videos and stuff. Do you have any plans on, like, maybe using any of your buddies or anything, or your mates in the photography studio?
Yeah, because we used to do a lot of stuff before. Like, when I first got the studio, it was just by myself, and then when we moved, we got 2 other photographers in, so that's why it was KISS, because it was Keith, Ian, and Simon. But then Simon couldn't commit to it, so we got someone else called Mark. And long story short, there was the 3 of us doing the videos together, and those 2 dropped out, so then it was back to me, and obviously Deb's come on board. But we used to do a lot of videos as me and Ian. So the unboxing one, that was sort of us as the studio.
He was in the Studio Flash video, right? Yeah. Okay.
So we used to do stuff. So we had like 10-minute challenges. So it was a 10-minute challenge for him to set up a product commercial shoot with the lights and that sort of thing. And we used to get the photographers in who come to the studio. We had one, we're in Durham, around the Durham Cathedral and stuff. And we got him, said, you got 10 minutes, you need to go around to as many strangers as you can, say, can I take your picture, and get a picture. And you had a timer, and they're counting up, so I think you got like 50 odd people. And then we're going to say, oh, well, Stephen got this many people, so who's going to take up the challenge, who's going to do next, and just do it like all around where we were. So
that is incredibly fun. That sounds incredibly fun. Like, there's a whole realm of like things that I would want to get into that I can't get into because I do my videos by myself. Yeah. So definitely, like, collaborating with other people, I think is the way to go. That just sounds incredibly fun. Like,
but it's quite good for them as well, because Stephen didn't want to do it at first. But saying, oh, well, it's to get your confidence up and approaching people and that sort of thing, so it helps them out as well.
Yeah, dude, like, I mean, that's such a fun thing. And you see all these like really cool photos from accounts on Instagram or anything like that, like People of New York. That is, I mean, that's literally what that is. That's people walking up to people on the street and saying, hey, this is what I do. And to have the confidence to actually go up and, potentially bother somebody is, that's great. I think that could work well in photography. That could work well in video, definitely. If you were doing some kind of any kind of like a documentary style video or like man on the street type video or something like that. But yeah, dude, that's really neat. That sounds like a lot of fun. What's
obviously I started doing a podcast, and I did one with one photographer, and then I just didn't get the time to do it. So I'm hoping to get that up and done, especially with this. Like,
oh yeah,
I was like, I need to do this and get it in, because we can just set it up in the studio, have the two cameras, just record the two angles, the sound, and do it that way.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun. Like, even just doing this is like, I mean, I'm learning from you and things like that, and you know, me just getting to share something with my subscriber base that I like and I think that they'll like is awesome too. And you're a friend of mine, so of course I'd like to, you know, promote your channel and things too. Yeah. So I mean, I think it's all around just a pretty fun thing. The podcast that you were doing, what I guess is the format. Is it like kind of almost the same format as this, like
similar
behind the scenes type of thing? Or
when I first started doing it was when Jared Poland started doing his. So it's just one GoPro angle and
Frodo's photo.
So it was just similar to that, and it's sort of writing notes saying, so how do you get in photography, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I just did that.
That's awesome, man.
I think sort of similar to the same format. Kind of what he does now, but not more so talking about the gear and use and things. It's just one-on-one with... At first it was going to be photographers, but I want to do creators. So there's a guy called Stevie who I'm good friends with. He's the best man. He's in a band called Twister, and he's got a recording studio. Because when we first had it, it was a recording studio and a photography studio. He used to do music videos and all that sort of thing. So it's nice to get him in to get another creator perspective on things.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
With, like everything else, rather than just photographers. So you get like videographers, musicians, recording artists, that sort of thing.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, like I really started thinking about like this whole podcast, like whenever I kind of came up with the idea. And first it was, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't have the correct equipment. I don't have this. Turns out you do. All you need is Skype and a webcam and a microphone. So, you know, anyone can do this. You know, I think I was more hooked on the fact that I thought maybe I needed like, you know, a board and all this different stuff and some kind of like, you know, big telecast. I forget what they call it, a telecaster.
Auto prompter.
Yeah, something like that. And I was just kind of scared of this whole idea. And then as I thought about it more and more for a couple weeks, I was like, man, this is a great idea. This is what should be happening. And then I'm in a couple other groups on Facebook, and I was sitting there, and I knew that you were one of the guys that I wanted to have on first to kind of like kick off the whole like, you know, behind the scenes with the creator, kind of a creator spotlight thing, so we could talk like photo and things like that. But I think once I start to get, you know, a little more comfortable doing this, I think that you know, I want to bring in other creators, maybe people who aren't photographers and video people, but maybe bloggers, you know, people that write and things like that. So I think it would be, you know, fun. There's a girl that I already had asked to be on, and I think she's gonna be maybe like the third or fourth episode or something like that. And she's a blogger, and she also makes YouTube videos. She has a really cute vlog. It's about her family and things like that. And you know, it's really cool because she's really not in tune with all of the tech stuff that like you and I are, but she really makes good videos, and she designs really great thumbnails, and you know, she's successful at what she does, and it's really awesome. So to get different tips and tricks from different types of creators, I think it's a really cool thing.
Because it's a good thing as well, like So if you get someone who's a music promoter, working out how they use Facebook to promote the acts and all that sort of thing is something that you can take on board to help with your business. Like I do a lot of stuff on Facebook, so all of my posts that go on Facebook on me Fusco media page are all scheduled up. So I schedule them up for like 6 o'clock every night because that's the best time when people see it using the analytics and things.
Yeah.
And I just schedule like a month in advance for stuff I'm going to be doing. So if I'm going to advertise family shoots, I can have them scheduled up, and then I just have to spend a couple of hours one day, and that's the month all done. So I don't have to worry about it. So you can concentrate on doing your work.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's almost like the whole, like, you know, people that want to own a restaurant, and because they're a chef, you're in the back cooking. Who's running your business? You know what I mean? It's that type of thing. That's really neat. It's a great way to look at it. Again, something else that people could learn from. Yeah. So very cool, man. I bet you had no idea, but we have almost gone for an hour at this point.
Yeah, I just
I looked down and I was like, oh my God, we just passed 51 minutes, which is awesome, but we do have to keep these short at some point. Yeah. So anything else that you'd like to share with the YouTube universe?
Just that I'm happy that I eventually found your channel, because I saw it and saw a couple of videos, subscribed straight away. I was like, oh, I'm waiting for this, because you had this big thing saying, first video is coming out here, you need to watch this.
Right, yeah.
And then from that I was hooked, because it's great to see like other creators like yourself and how you do things. Yeah. So little things like you're saying with the Photoshop, the way I do the content away is different to how you do that, and there's a lot of things that you do, like the towel slider, just ingenious. Like little tips and tricks like that you can learn and just take on board.
It is really wild just to like really how much I think that I've learned. Like I wish I could see some kind of like graph that shows like how much I've learned since I really started connecting with people like yourself on YouTube and Facebook and things like that. It's just like the growth has to be just exponential. It's got to be like, because it's just different things like that. Even that kind of how I teased the whole channel flip thing was, I saw a guy in a marketing forum. I don't even know the dude. Don't remember his name, but he just said, there's a razor, like a shaving razor brand in the United States called Harry's. Yeah. And when they started their business, they didn't even make the product yet. Right. They didn't design it, but they had advertising for it, and they did it for like 6 months, where they just said coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. Mm-hmm. They had a Facebook page that had like 5 million likes on it or something like that, and they didn't even sell their razors yet. And I was like, like my mind just was blown, and I was like, man, I don't want to wait 6 months to like make more YouTube videos, but I do have to kind of get some things in order before I start doing this. Like I wanted to make new channel art and kind of make everything flow together. And so I was like, I have a couple weeks. So I tried doing that, and I think it worked out pretty well. I think it did. I really like the new direction of the channel, and I think it's gotten me pretty tight with guys like yourself, other creators who I'm just like, real into their stuff and their work and things. So
because it's funny, like in the creator forum, there's people going on, it's like, oh, how can I get some more subscribers, because I need to get 1,000 subscribers and all the watch hours and stuff so I can get monetized. And like it's not about that. So going back to the thing with when I created my channel, the other one, which has got all the commercial stuff, I think I had about 250 subscribers and 170,000 views, something like that.
Yep.
It's like, it's not about that. It's about trying to create content that people can learn something from or want to watch and do it, not just saying, oh, I've got these vlogs, I do this stuff.
Right. I totally agree with that. I know I put out a video about the whole YouTube doing the whole 1,000 subscribers, cutting everybody's monetization and things like that. And me looking back at that video and kind of how I like thought about that, there were two different takes on that. Like me, I didn't care about the money at all whatsoever, because I mean, as far as like checks from YouTube, I got a couple, and it wasn't anything. It doesn't impact my financial stability whatsoever. Yeah. Like if I get a check from YouTube, then every once in a while I'm just like, oh sweet, I can, maybe put that towards a lens, or like me and my girl can go out on the town for a night, something like that. But
I over since like 2006, I think I'd only earned about £90. And that was it.
Yeah, and it literally just it didn't really matter about the money as much as I think I got more mad about it only because it seemed like there were people that kind of looked at that as like I'm earning or I'm growing or I'm progressing, and then it just kind of felt like YouTube was like, no, you're not. It was, and I know that you can, there's other metrics to watch, like your subscribers and your video, your retention and things like that. Like those are the more important
main thing that I focus on.
Yeah.
How long an audience watches your video. So you have to figure out, they only watched it for 30 seconds. Why was that? Was it too slow, or did not get straight to the point? And you have to like work on that and then put that up. Yeah,
absolutely. I agree. I actually had since I made that video private because I don't know. I think there were too many people that were thinking that I gave too much of a shit about the money, which I didn't at all. And it was more of the motivation. I think it was the motivation that they kind of took away from people and made it kind of think, there's some people out there that think, I'm never going to make it to 1,000 subscribers. And then there's people that are like, oh man, this is going to make me work 10 times harder and I'm going to do it faster. Yeah. And, I was in the group that was more like, I'm more motivated now to get there. But then like once I hit 1,000, it didn't really even matter. Like, I don't even think that I went and applied for my monetization for like another week after that. Like it wasn't even really that big of a deal. I think it was just a personal goal that I wanted to hit. And that was that. And
obviously when all this happened with the YouTube thing, that was roughly when I started the new channel.
Yeah.
I was like, well, shit happens. I started at 0, so if I get to 1,000, great. If not, then I'll just keep knocking out content. Yeah.
Exactly. And like you said, like the people in those groups that are like, how can I get more subscribers? How can I do this? It's, to me, the way that I make videos, and I imagine this is probably how you do it too, is I upload my videos and I schedule mine as well. But I upload mine and then I think about that video for about half of the next day. You know what I mean? Like the day it goes up, I think about that video for maybe half a day.
Yeah.
The work is already done. It's up. It's live. I'm already thinking about the next video, and I might even be filming the next video the day that the other one went live. So I'm past it. That, I think, is how you get a bigger audience and things like that. You just have to continue moving forward and not, how do they say it? Not hooking your wagon to one video. You know what I mean?
It's like trying to make it like, oh, well, I've got this video, I want to make this go viral. Like,
right. Yeah.
It'll just happen naturally. If it's going to happen, then it will.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't force it to do it.
Well, I do ask you this. If I ever, in my entire life, have a viral video, I would like for you to break it down and tell me why.
As long as I put it in my schedule.
Absolutely, yeah. So there we are, man. We went for an hour, and I think we got a lot of good out of that. That was a fun episode. I'm glad that you were my first guest. Definitely. As soon as I thought about this, I was like, man, I got to talk him into being number one. And I didn't even have to talk you into it. You were like, hell yeah, dude, let's do it.
We mentioned about it before. I was like, got to do this.
I'm in. So, all right. Well, you can definitely see this video on my channel, and you can see it on Keith's channel. And anybody that's in my subscriber base, I would definitely urge you to go out there and check out Keith's stuff. You can find him on YouTube/Keith Fusco. You can check out his business, his Fusco Media. You can check him out on Facebook, Instagram, all of that good stuff. So just search Keith Fusco, and you will run into just about everything.
It's not a very common name, so
it's definitely not. So I'm sure you didn't have any problems getting your social media handles.
Yeah, but like we're saying in that video that I created, how to make a social media handle if your name's taken.
Yeah, that would suck if your name was like Matt Smith Photography.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it, and we'll chat soon.
Yeah, excellent.
All right.